Hey there, friends. I totally forgot to include our good friend Bruce Garner's analysis of the quakes and some of the graphs he put together. So here's a quick little addendum to add to my update. Here is a graph Bruce put together that shows sort of what we saw with the Met Office graph. This is the number of earthquakes on the y-axis, and the x-axis is hours from yesterday, August 22nd. So each little column here is the full hour. And so you can see the earthquakes kind of pretty slow here, but the first uptick here would be sort of in the, I guess, the 9 o'clock hour, 9 to 10, really ramps up at from 10 to 11 when the eruption is really when that fissure's lengthening and the eruption's really going at that point, reaches a peak around here. But there's a drop off, and probably we would have seen this continue to drop off down the way had there not been that additional seismic activity to the north, because the magma was under pressure and there was more magma available to erupt than what the 4 kilometer fissure could allow. And so we saw some of that earthquake activity pick up to the north. So you can see that sort of secondary spike there, kind of a cool little twin towers distribution of the earthquakes here. And then once that fissure was established and magma was erupting there, then we see the earthquakes dying down, ending with August 23rd today, this morning, and sort of that's where the earthquakes die down there. So we've got that graph from Bruce, so thanks for sending that. And then the other thing he sent me, so I have a couple other things for you. So he also sent this here, which, let me pull up his email at the same time so I can kind of walk you through this as well. So this is a plot, like a 3D plot of the earthquakes. The four green dots are the four corners of the town. So Grindavik would be down here. So this would be kind of looking off to the northeast here. The blue is the spatter cone from the May 29th eruption power plant over here. And so that just kind of shows you where in sort of three-dimensional space those earthquakes are occurring. The color of the dot corresponds to the magnitude. There's that 4 down there, and then you can see all these 2s, and you can see there's quite a few of those sort of in that shallow level there. But again, showing you that just how much more concentrated those quakes were northeast of where that eruptive area ended up being. And then finally, the last plot he has here is the plot he's been using to kind of forecast the eruptions the whole time. And remember in my last update, his forecast was, I think the window started around the 22nd. So this eruption that took place yesterday was within his window. Let me read to you from his email what he says about that. Says my original email on the 14th of June predicted a GPS height for this GPS station of about 830 millimeters and 849.5 millimeters for the next event. The average height for yesterday was 819 millimeters, so that was just 3% below the forecast. So he's pretty close there with his methods. My original uplift average was 3.25 millimeters per day, which gave an estimate of September 7th to the 14th. However, in July, I discovered a better way to predict the uplift, which gave a predicted average uplift of 3.76 millimeters per day, which would have predicted August 27th to September 2nd. The actual figure for the uplift was 3.897 millimeters, hence the August 22nd start date. Overall, I'm rather happy with all that. So great analysis by him. If you want, I can kind of walk you through this graph here. What we have here, the big kind of sawtooth pattern here is the uplift from each eruption event. So this goes way back to last October. The primary magma intrusion and development of the dike on November 10th. So each one of these sort of stair steps down is an eruptive event. And this is leading into the eruption that we had today, or yesterday, I suppose, which would be about here. Then he's calculating just how much uplift is going on during each interval, and he's using that uplift rate and sort of the average, uplift it takes to trigger the eruption to kind of extrapolate where that window would be. So you can see the two red lines up here that coincide with about around the 1st of September to about late August here, and that fell kind of within that window. So really cool analysis. I mean, it's not a predictive tool, and I don't think he would even offer it up as such either. But it's a great way to at least forecast the eruptions based on the past behavior. There is some slop to it, but pretty good number crunching and analyses by Bruce. So just shout out to him. Thanks for doing that. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up the update officially. Thanks again, folks. Take care.